What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu. You are watching the Ragin Nation show, Transformers 4 Edition. This is just a web series where we're talking about all things matter to me for production of the 4th installment of the live-action Transformers film franchise directed by Michael Bay. This is update number 126, and by now you have seen my reaction for the Imagine Dragons announcement. That was episode number 125, and the crazy thing is that when I made update number 124, I talked about how I didn't want to watch the Imagine Dragons announcement from The Voice because it was recorded straight off the TV, and I mentioned that I don't want to watch that version because I want to see a high quality official version. So right after I uploaded that video, update number 124, the official version comes out from the Transformers Age of Extinction official YouTube channel. So immediately I had to do my review, or rather my reaction, and just a brief review. I've already uploaded that. If you haven't checked that out, check out my ridiculous reaction. But right now what I want to talk about in update number 126 is I want to give you a full-on analysis of each shot that I didn't talk enough about for the Imagine Dragons TV spot. Now you're probably thinking, wait a minute, this TV spot is only like 40 seconds worth of new footage, or rather just footage alone altogether. What is there to possibly talk about that I haven't already talked about? Well, it turns out that there's a number of shots that actually are have some sort of significance to them. So let's start off with let's take a look here. First of all, let's take a look at this shot with Optimus, where he's just looking like he's ready to kick some butt. He's got his battle mask on. I love the way that the battle mask comes on. It's like 3 different moves. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's very different. You can see there's a lot of layers to it. So very, very cool. Like, this is definitely a new change to the look of Optimus Prime's face, his battle mask. Originally, it just went like this, ching, right? So it's very simple. And another thing that you notice is that in this angle, you see like more of his shoulder armor, which makes him look more like a knight. And you see the Cybertronian glyphs on it. Are those Cybertronian glyphs? They could just be like scratch marks. Anyways, moving on, let's take a look at this shot here. Now, here's the drone ship flying across, like just under a bridge, under a drawbridge in Chicago. You can tell it's Chicago because of the buildings, especially this clock tower. You know what? This looks like the same tower that Sentinel Prime was standing on, I think. But anyways, what's very interesting about this shot is that the drawbridge is exploding. Okay, now why is it exploding? Who knows why? But what's also very interesting is that this drone ship, as we've seen in the teasers, I mean the very first teaser, it had Bumblebee on top of the drone ship, okay? But in the next shot, you can take a very close look and you can see that Tessa, Cade, and Shane are in the weapon pod at the very back. So this kind of reminds us of when they were in production. You saw that gunner pod, a gunner pod, where the 3 humans were in the back and they're probably shooting at some guys, some Decepticons. So very, very cool. And some people, I was reading some of the comments, and some people are actually saying that Crosshairs is on there too. Now, I don't see Crosshairs. I see a little bit of green in this shot and a little bit of green on this other shot, but I don't really see Crosshairs like his full body. So, you know, that's very interesting. If he's on it, then maybe he jumps off and then he pulls out the parachute, right? So very cool, which suggests that he always has a parachute on him at all times. Okay, moving on, let's take a look at this shot. Now, I remember this shot, okay, from when they were shooting the movie, wherever this location is. You can see this is some kind of refinery plant, and this is the bridge that blows up. They blew up this bridge, and it comes right down. And what you see on the bridge is not an Autobot, that's Lockdown. Okay, originally I was thinking that's an Autobot, but if you take a really close look at this HD still, that's Lockdown right there. This is our next shot of Lockdown outside of the Texas battle. All right, so very, very cool. Moving on, what do we have here? Well, we have a shot of Mark Wahlberg as Cade shooting his gunblade twice. Okay, now going back to talking about the Grimlock fire breathing scene. First of all, that that fire that's coming out of his mouth is spectacular. But what's very interesting is right before the fire comes out, if you look to the very far left, you see Drift. Drift is right there. Grimlock is looking right at Drift, but it doesn't look like he's spraying fire at Drift. He's just spraying fire in the air to, I guess, establish his strength. You know what I'm saying? And in the background, you see Optimus. Now, I cannot really tell how far Optimus is really, like distance-wise, but he's really tiny. I mean, if you really take a look at that, Optimus is tiny, but it doesn't look like he's that far away. And what's also very interesting is that you see him make this move, this kind of move. Like, if you replay that scene, he's going, psh, but who is he doing that to? It's kind of weird. You know what? I can't wait to see the movie because I really need some answers to be questioned. I mean, I need some questions to be answered. And what's also very interesting is when Grimlock sprays his fire breath, you can see the steam coming out of his body. Like, that's some really cool detail that they put over there. Alright, moving on, let's talk about Hound. I love this shot of Hound. It is so detailed. Now, there's two things that I want to talk about with regards to this shot. And that is, I love how, like, first of all, it is so photorealistic. Second, it's very, it just looks like his armor. His armor is just, like, very layered. So if you take a look at the shot and you watch him shooting in slow motion, you can see that the parts move, you know, with a delay. Like, they don't move like this, but when he moves left, then the armor then moves. So which suggests that his armor, his car parts are kind of like clothing, right? So it's like, I don't really know how to explain it, but it just shows that ILM really did an amazing job with all the movements of these robots. It's done really, really well. The other thing that I want to talk about is the sparks. Now, you see all the sparks coming off of a Hound? Now, this could mean a number of things, and, well, actually just two things, and that is just when his metal is rubbing on metal, it could be just sparks, you know, it's just making sparks. But it could also just suggest that he's being shot at, and that's why there's sparks coming off him. And then, I mean, that's why he's so mad, right? But I'm thinking, who would be shooting at Hound, and with a weapon that only just makes sparks off his armor? I can only think of that it's a human, because if it was a Decepticon weapon, then it would have, like, you know, made a bigger impact, right? So, you know, what kind of a weapon would just make sparks go off on Hound's armor like it was just like nothing? So, very, very interesting, and that's probably the reason why he's so mad and he's blasting at somebody, because if you pay close attention, a spark came off his beard, which means that whoever was shooting at him shot at his beard, and you don't shoot at somebody's beard, okay? You don't shoot at Hound's beard, you don't even shoot at a human's beard, because humans grow their beards with pride, okay? And I'm sure that Hound is very proud of his beard, and if you shoot at Hound's beard, he's going to be blasting at you like he is blasting in this photo right here. Okay, moving on, we got to talk about this shot, Crosshairs. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, this shot we've seen before. You know, like, we've seen this shot before. What is there to talk about? Well, first of all, they cleaned up the shot a little better, okay? It doesn't look as bright as it does before. They did a better, some better color correction. But what's very interesting is that they changed something entirely, and that is Crosshair's face. His goggles used to be way up on his forehead, but you know what? He's wearing goggles. I mean, he owns a pair of goggles. Why isn't he wearing them during battle? So what they decided to do is that they put the goggles on his face, or rather his eyes, instead of having them on his head. So, you know, if you take a close look at both the shots, you can see that this is you know, like something that they changed, which is actually really cool. All right, so pretty awesome. And finally, last shot I want to end with has to do with humans. Now let's take a look at this explosion shot. I mean, Michael Bay does explosions really well. Originally, in the Super Bowl TV spot, we had explosions going off like in a very raw format. But this time, he added a more organic feeling to it by adding in these kind of like, it's almost like lava or magma on the bottom. It just looks really, really cool. It wasn't there before, but it adds a really neat dynamic to to the explosion, which also suggests that these aren't normal explosions. I mean, we've seen a lot of Michael Bay's explosions. They go off like fireworks and fireballs, but this kind of thing that's going off on the ground, that is really neat. Maybe it's some kind of like Decepticon weapon, like some kind of artillery or something. Who knows? But anyways, this is not a normal explosion. And that's all the things that I have to say about this, my trailer analysis for this TV spot. Very, very cool. You know, I can't wait to see this movie, and I also can't wait to see the trailer, which is coming out on Thursday at 12:01 a.m. It's going to be really, really exciting, so make sure you stay tuned for that video. I'm going to put on a full reaction, full review, full trailer analysis. Man, this is an exciting time for Transformers fans and also the fans of the Ragin Nation. Thanks a lot for all the support. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Hong Kong, and then you remember that shot where Optimus Prime just like looks up, you know, from that Texas street, like that highway?